What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mr. Dan here as always, and welcome back to another martial arts Monday review. This week we're taking a look at 1976's The Magic Blade, a film I really wish I saw on TV when I was a kid. I would have absolutely loved this film. This is starring T. Lung, and it's part of the Shawscope Volume 3 box set. Previously, I've reviewed films like The One-Armed Swordsman and The One-Armed Swordsman Returns. From the same box set, The One-Armed Swordsman Returns was actually the debut of T. Lung. I decided to skip ahead, but I will be reviewing all the films in the box set eventually. So less than 10 years later, T. Lung has a starring role in this film, playing a character named Fu Hongxue, who is a well-regarded swordsman. He plays it with a great deal of gravitas and authority, kind of a very serious role. He's very authoritative. You really believe that he's like pretty much the baddest guy in the land. And he's about to square off for the third time with a rival of his. And I guess these contests are not to the death, obviously, because this is going to be the third sword fight between them. A guy named Yan Fei, who has more of a devil-may-care attitude. And he's played by the legendary Lo Lei, who seems to be really enjoying this role here. Just before they square off, a local courtesan says, "Hey, you've got to come help your old buddy Kyushu King, because the villain of our story, Gong Ziyu and all his henchmen, he's going to be attacking the Peacock Mansion, which is the headquarters of the Kyushu King character and all of his swordsmen that work for him. And he's actually guarding a weapon called the Peacock Dart, or Peacock Fan, depending on which subtitles you're reading. And this is a weapon that actually has explosive powers, and it's such a game changer that it's kept in a locked room that can only be opened by turning 6 keys at the same time. So you know that it's pretty serious, right? So yes, eventually Fu Hongxue, with the help of Yan Nanfei and Kyushu King's daughter, they have to kind of hit the road and protect this weapon. And the relationship between Fu Hongxue and Yan Nanfei is, remember, they were just about to square off against each other. It's very interesting, because it's kind of adversarial, but they're sort of on the same side, so they have a lot of really good back and forth dialogue. And there's a few characters in here, as is usually the case, where you're not sure if Fu Hongxue can trust them 100%. So some people may not be who they seem to be. And essentially, the rest of the film is just one set-piece battle after another, as all the minions of this Gong Ziyu character come after the Peacock Dart. And, just like some of the other films in this box set, like The One-Armed Swordsman Returns, you have quite a cast of characters. You've got Ku Feng in a small role as one of the villains. And you've got a chess king who actually sets up a chessboard. He has all his minions run out and set up a chessboard on the ground. And then the pieces, which are, humans, this is like human chess, upon command will attack. They take turns taking moves, and the names of the pieces are not the same. They talk about, the elephants advance, but the elephants are kind of like bishops in the Anglo version of chess. So they're actually fighting while they're sort of playing this life-size chess. You also have one villain who actually writes poetry, and that sort of becomes a weapon, and I can't even really describe it. You just have to sort of see it to believe it. But my favorite villain in this movie, and really, this is a character, I have never seen a character like this before in one of these films, is a character named the Devil's Grandma. Okay, she is an old woman played by Teresa Ha Ping, and she's fantastic in this role. She basically wheels around a cart with this, like an oven, a stove, and has all these cooking implements, and she basically wants to cook you alive. And there's a quick scene where you see her doing that to someone. She will gleefully sort of taste your blood if you're bleeding, and kind of see how it tastes before she kills you. And she's an actual piece of work. I mean, it's just, it's like a character you've never seen before in these films. And it's essentially one confrontation after another. Lots of great weapons. T. Lung is a fantastic protagonist in this film. And we're going to talk more about him here in just a moment. So actor T. Lung was born in Guangdong, China in 1946. He moved to Hong Kong with his family when he was 4 years old. As he approached young adulthood, he began to work as a tailor a little bit. He also learned some martial arts in order to defend himself on the streets. And eventually he would enroll in the Hong Kong
actors school where he would learn other martial arts such as judo and wushu. He would also learn horseback riding and acting, of course, and he would be spotted early by directors such as Chang Cheh, making his debut in The Return of the One-Armed Swordsman, and then he would appear in classic films such as The New One-Armed Swordsman, The Angry Guest, Water Margin, The Sentimental Swordsman, Clans of Intrigue, Five Shaolin Masters, the list goes on and on, The Brave Archer, 10 Tigers of Kwantung. In the 80s, he would pivot a little bit and appear in some gangster films, such as A Better Tomorrow and A Better Tomorrow Part 2 for director John Woo. And he's actually still active today. His last credit was actually in 2023, so I hope that he's doing well and still active. And he would actually have a little bit of crossover success. He would appear in the Hammer Films and Shaw Brothers co-production Shatter, or They Call Me Shatter, which would star Stuart Whitman, be directed by Hammer veteran director Michael Carreras. It would also star Lily Lee and Peter Cushing in a small role, which is interesting because the other, probably more well-known, Hammer Shaw Brothers co-production of Seven Golden Vampires starred David Chang, T. Lung's frequent co-star, and Peter Cushing. And even though in the film Shatter, Stuart Whitman is the title character, T. Lung does most of the heavy lifting in terms of the action scenes. Later in about 2010, he would appear in The Warrior's Way with an international cast including Jeffrey Rush, Kate Bosworth, and Jang Dong-gun. So a very recognizable, well-regarded actor, very versatile actor. He would also appear in action films such as Mercenaries of Hong Kong, which I reviewed on the channel. Please go ahead and check out that. And he received several awards over the years. Now, I mentioned David Chang. With director Chang Cheh, the three of them formed what was known as the Iron Triangle. And they made, I think, 20 films together, the three of them, including this one, Blood Brothers, which I have yet to watch a review. And this is one of the films. There's a few where T. Lung picked up some awards. He won the Best Actor award at the Golden Horse Awards in Hong Kong in 1973. He would win many other awards for supporting actor or best actor in different Asian awards throughout the rest of Asia. But yes, he would very often be associated with David Chiang and Chang Cheh. So there are many, many more films out there for me to watch that starred T. Lung. So consider this to be part one of an ongoing discussion of the life and career of T. Lung.
So our heroes basically navigate a multitude of settings, including like a forest and a tea house where everybody appears to be dead in their chairs and even like dead as they're standing up. The film has like a lot of surreal, almost like a dreamlike quality about it in places. And of course, eventually there's going to be an inevitable conclusion between Fu Hongxue and the villainous Gong Ziyu. Highly satisfying film all around. I highly recommend it. What are your thoughts? Have you seen The Magic Blade? Are you familiar with T. Lung? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And come back again next Monday for another Martial Arts Monday film review.